Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever felt like your company's tech is just a ticking time bomb? Full of unexpected costs and frustrating downtime? Well, if that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about how to turn all that chaos into a real, powerful, strategic advantage for your business. And it really boils down to this one question, doesn't it? Is your technology working for you or is it working against you? Is it a tool that's actually fueling your growth or is it this hidden liability, just quietly draining your resources and your team's productivity? We're going to figure out how to make absolutely sure it's the first one. All right, first up, let's get real about the problems. I mean, before we can even talk about a solution, we have to really understand the pain points, right? These are those recurring tech headaches that, I swear, keep so many business owners up at night. Does any of this sound familiar? One minute everything's running smoothly, and the next, bam, a critical server fails, and your entire operation just grinds to a halt. Or maybe it's that slow, creeping death of productivity, all because the computers just can't keep up anymore. Look, these are not just little annoyances. They are significant business risks. We're talking surprise budget hits and some serious security vulnerabilities hiding in that old equipment. So what's the fix then? Well, it's not about just throwing more IT support at the problem to react to fires as they pop up. It's about getting ahead of them, about adopting a much smarter strategy. And that strategy, it's called Hardware Lifecycle Management, or HLM for short. So what is HLM? Simply put, it's a plan. It's a structured, proactive way to manage every single piece of hardware in your company. I want you to think of it like the entire journey of a device, from the moment you buy a new laptop through its whole life in the company, all the way to the day you securely wipe its data and recycle it. It completely replaces guesswork with a clear, predictable process. And this really gets to the heart of why this whole thing matters so much. See, the goal isn't just to be more organized for the sake of it. It's about driving real business results. We're talking about minimizing those super costly interruptions, getting the absolute most value out of every single asset, closing up security gaps, and this is a huge one, making your IT spending predictable instead of it being a constant, unwelcome surprise. Okay, so now we get the what and the why. Let's get practical. How do you actually do this? Here is the 5-step plan that turns HLM from just a concept into a reality for your business. This right here, this is your roadmap for the entire life cycle. It all starts with smart planning and procurement, making sure you're buying the right gear from day one. From there, it just flows naturally into deployment, then proactive maintenance, then a strategic upgrade cycle, and finally, secure disposal. See how each step logically feeds into the next? It creates this virtuous cycle of control. Now, here's a really interesting part, that upgrade and refresh phase. This is a decision we all face, right? Do you try to patch up that old, struggling machine, or do you invest in a new one? Repairing it, sure, it seems cheaper upfront, but you're basically gambling with more downtime and sluggish performance. Replacing it costs more initially, yeah, but you get way better performance, a fresh warranty, and honestly, better long-term value. A solid HLM plan means you're making this critical choice with hard data, not just a gut feeling. So, still not convinced this whole thing is worth the effort? All right, let's look at the numbers. Because the data on HLM's impact is, well, it's incredibly compelling, especially when we start talking about the bottom line and protecting your business. Okay, I want you to just let this number sink in for a second. 50 to 60%. That's the reported reduction in downtime for businesses that have a structured HLM approach. Just think about what that actually means for your revenue, for your team's productivity, for your customer satisfaction. It is a massive, massive impact. And here's the reality for so many small and medium businesses. About 35% of them push their hardware way past its prime, mostly because of tight budgets. But this isn't just a bad habit, It's a huge risk that absolutely kills productivity and opens you up to all kinds of threats. HSLM helps you plan your budget specifically to avoid falling into this exact trap. This chart reveals a really interesting gap. While something like 60 to 70% of small and medium businesses, SMBs, say they use some form of HLM, the data shows something else. Only 40% are using dedicated software to manage it. This points to a huge opportunity to gain even more control and efficiency just by using the right tools. And HLM goes way beyond just day-to-day operations. It's absolutely critical for compliance. I'm talking about everything from data privacy rules like GDPR over in Europe to environmental regulations for e-waste.
A proper HLM process ensures you're meeting all of your legal obligations. This isn't just good practice, it's essential risk management. Okay, we've covered the problem, we've covered the solution, and we've looked at the proof. So now let's turn all this knowledge into action. Here are the very first steps you can take to start building your own HLM plan. All right, here is your starting checklist, 5 simple things you can literally start working on today. The very first step is always knowing what you have, right? So an inventory is absolutely key to seeing the whole picture. From there, it's about creating clear rules for buying, for training, and, so critically, for securely getting rid of old gear to protect your data. These are the foundational blocks of a really strong HLM program. And for the leaders watching, your role here is to elevate this from a simple checklist to a core part of your business culture. That means moving beyond just an inventory list to truly analyzing performance, mapping out that entire process to find inefficiencies, and then investing in the tools that give your team the control and visibility they need.
So there you have it. You now have the blueprint for moving from chaos to control. The only question left is this. When you think about the next unexpected server failure, all that lost productivity, and the security risks, what is the true cost of doing nothing at all?